Welcome to MTC Studio. This is a series in business transformation using IoT Part 2. From smart cities to smart buildings to connected coffee machines, IoT is driving fourth industrial revolution. In this series, I'm going to cover about how to get started with your IoT project, how to connect those devices, and let's talk about some of our customer case studies with some of the demos. My name is Rajesh Agadi. I am an MTC architect from Silicon Valley. Let's get into it. I want to talk about one of our customer, Rockwell Automation. Rockwell Automation is a global automation company, industrial automation. They have over 22,000 employees. They have over customers across 80 different countries. Rockwell Automation wanted to transform the way they do business in the oil and gas industry by really bringing the data generated by even the most remote assets in their cloud into the cloud, and using advanced analytics, they wanted to provide unprecedented business insights. What Rockwell did is Rockwell adopted Microsoft Azure IoT services, and they were able to collect a lot of the data telemetry from the devices across their assets, and being able to perform a remote equipment management, and then apply remote monitoring and predictive maintenance, predictive analytics. And Rockwell Automation created a solution to monitor their expensive capital assets and use that data to improve operational efficiency. They use the Microsoft Azure IoT services to deploy the solutions, connect their devices, and collect that information, and being able to associate various algorithms and really start implementing a remote monitoring and predictive maintenance. And thereby they're able to reduce the maintenance downtime, and then being able to preemptively address the machine's issues and then repair them in time. This allowed for them to really, in the cost savings of $300,000 per day. They were able to modernize their transaction data by replacing paper-based with the immediate electronics records. At the same time, the data insights enabled them to the customers to orchestrate everything from deliveries to equipment maintenance. Let's take a look at the demo. So using our Azure IoT services, Rockwell is able to quickly build IoT solutions and then deploy, and this is the demo of the application. So this is the dashboard. I'm able to, as a Rockwell Automation supervisor, I'm able to see this dashboard where I have assets of my industry across the globe. I'm able to see in the map here. I'm going to go and look at and narrow down into only the ones that I want to focus on, the one that have the alerts. So I'm going to go and look into the one that has alerts here, and look into information and further narrow down. So I can actually see here all the alerts that are generated. I'm going to go into the first alerts, that one of the sensor is giving me a critical severity alert. It looks like it's a Trans-Alaska location. There is a flow rate alert, and I'm going to go into pick this one, and I can see actually the equipment details live, and there are sensors across the equipment oil flow, and looks like there is an issue with this particular system here. I'm going to click on this, and what I'm able to generate here is I can actually see a real-time mean temperature across the ideal time, but at the same time I'm able to see a predictive alert warning here. So you can see for that particular sensor the real-time, the actual captured data, and then what is the predicted life of the equipment life. But at the same time there is the ideal time, and then I can see where I am today, and then I'm able to actually predict the equipment is the sensor. Based on the sensor detail, this particular equipment will have a failure much sooner than the ideal scheduled maintenance. So thereby, I want to go ahead and create a ticket to schedule the maintenance of this particular equipment. So I'm going to go and the system is updating the Microsoft Dynamics CRM, which is used in the behind the scene to connect to our maintenance service, field services, and that basically addresses that particular system. Let's look at the challenges. When you see IoT projects can be very complex. It can have long timelines. It's hard to scale because you are across several machineries connected with several sensors, and it's difficult to customize. With that in mind, what we have as a Microsoft, what we have innovated, I want to talk about the services that we have. We talked about Azure IoT variety of services that you can consume and build your IoT solutions. In order for you to be able to get quickly build this, in order for our customers to deploy IoT solutions very quickly, we have introduced Azure IoT Suite. Azure IoT Suite is built on top of the baseline Azure IoT related services, and plus many other services, related services. With the Azure IoT services, you can very quickly deploy IoT solutions. You can accelerate time to market value by being able to start very quickly with what's called as a pre-configured solutions. These are very common IoT scenarios, and then you can work with the rich partner network, being able to integrate with your specific scenario, specific sensors required, specific industry needs, and extend it very quickly. Azure IoT Suite allows you to start small and being able to be agile and very quickly deploy your IoT solutions and extend it very quickly. Azure IoT Suite has several different components pre-built into the system. It allows you for device connectivity and management. It's allowed you for data ingestion and command and control. It allows you for stream processing and predictive analytics. Azure IoT Suite allows you for implementing a workflow automation. Azure IoT Suite comes with the pre-built dashboards and visualization aspects. It all comes with the pre-configured solutions. Customers are able to deploy IoT solutions with these pre-configured solutions very quickly, and they are able to build their applications, extend that application to their specific industries, such as the fleet management example here on the screen. Let's take a look at the Azure IoT Suite example. This is the Azure IoT Suite website. With your Azure IoT subscription, with your Azure subscription, you can log into Azure IoT Suite. And what this allows you to do is being able to create solutions. For example, I'm going to go create a new solution. Today, we have two pre-configured solutions, predictive maintenance and remote monitoring. Likewise, we will be deploying several more pre-configured solutions as we identify industry-specific solutions. Predictive maintenance and remote monitoring are the two broad areas that were identified early on stage of development Azure IoT Suite. So for example, you can build a predictive maintenance for your particular plant in a particular location. And you can deploy several of the predictive maintenance service solutions for each of your plant, for each of your site locations. What I have done is I have already created a predictive maintenance suite. So I'm going to launch this now. Let's take a look at remote monitoring solution. I have already created a solution. I already created a service for a remote monitoring solution. This is a pre-configured solution instance for remote monitoring. What you see is a welcome dashboard that has a Bing map integrated with your device's locations. There is a telemetry dashboard. You can choose a specific device based on the registry name. The solution comes with a sample devices. There are specific KPIs for selected devices that you can customize. There is an alarm history that you can customize, that the solution is generating alerts based on the rules established. So let's take a look at each of the aspects of Azure IoT remote monitoring solution. You can access the devices menu by looking into each of the registered devices. The solution comes with the pre-built 4 sample solutions, and you can also register new devices and then apply different parameters for it. Let's go about simply registering a device. I'm going to add a new device, and you can choose a simulated device as well as custom device. I'm going to go and add a new device here. Azure IoT Suite allows you for device management. So let's look into the device management aspect. As you can see, there are a number of devices registered. It's as simple as being able to go add a new device and then apply the name for device ID, and you can check if the device exists, which allows you to adding a new devices. Let's go look back existing device here, and upon registration of each device, you can enable the device. You can see each device provides a device ID, as well as the registration also generates authentication keys that you can use for programming into the device and securely authenticate the device with the Azure IoT Suite. The device management also supports a customizable device schema, such as the device manufacturer, when it was updated, what is the device model, serial number, firmware update, etc. This is all completely customizable with the Azure IoT Suite pre-configured solution source code, which is available on the GitHub. With the Azure IoT Suite, you can establish rules to be applied for the devices. For example, the first rule here says that if the temperature is more than 38 degrees, it needs to perform this particular output. The outputs are actions. So you can deploy actions using the Azure Logic Apps. So here is the alarm temp logic app, which is the action. So with the combination of actions and rules, you can apply to the devices. So you can see there is a device, and you can add a rule to each device to be able to apply. So I'm able to pick which rule I want to apply, associate, and the rule will further trigger the respective actions assigned to the device. So if we go back to the dashboards, for each of these devices that is registered with the Azure IoT Suite remote monitoring, the rules will perform the respective actions. For example, it may generate alarm history in this list. Let's switch back to our presentation. So what you just saw, the remote monitoring, in order to deploy remote monitoring, you have to perform these 6 different steps: being able to establish monitoring device and its requirements, being able to manage the device profiles, being able to determine additional solution components for your remote monitoring solution. You want to be able to categorize the device that data presents. You want to be able to define alerts and actions based on the device performance, and you want to operationalize and scale the remote monitoring solutions. Azure IoT Suite comes with all of these functions pre-built in for you. Not only that, as the Azure IoT remote monitoring pre-configured solution is deployed, the Azure IoT Suite actually deploys all those aspects of Azure IoT services behind the scene for you connected. Let's take a look at this configurations and the Azure portal. So I'm going to log into my Azure portal. So I'm going to look into my resource group for here on the Azure IoT, here on the Azure's portal, I can see there is a resource group created for my particular instance of remote monitoring solution. Let's deep dive into this. When I look into it, there are several services are pre-created for me with the Azure IoT Suite. That's the simplicity of Azure IoT Suite that gets you started very quickly. Azure IoT Suite provides you three broad categories of services. Connect and scale devices with efficiency, where you have pre-configured solutions. Azure IoT Suite also provides you ability to connect with the heterogeneous agents, being able to talk to a variety of manufactured devices and platforms. It allows you for connect and control the devices. Azure IoT Suite allows you for analyze and act on a new data by being able to perform event processing, being able to apply predictive analytics by using machine learning, being able to apply data visualization from your Power BI dashboards, and you can integrate that into Azure IoT Suite. It also allows you to integrate and transform business processes by integrating workflows. It allows you for being able to push and broadcast notifications. Azure IoT Suite also allows you for ID and access management for each of your connected devices. Let's look at an example of being able to connect a real device. Here I have a custom built solution. I have a Arduino 101 board. There is a wireless shield on top of that. Then I have a board to build all my sensors. Here I have a motion sensor. This is a humidity and temperature sensor, and there is a sound sensor. All of this connected, custom built. Of course, you can buy many pre-canned sensors with all of these things nowadays. But the idea here is, with all of these devices, I can program these devices. The focus here is to being able to program these devices to connect with your Azure IoT Suite and manage from there in the device management aspect in the Azure IoT Suite. So I'm going to take the device and then register into Azure IoT Suite. The first step I'm going to do is go into Add Devices, and then I'm going to go Custom Devices, Add New Device, and then I'm going to assign a specific name for my device. For example, I'm going to call Silicon Innovation Valley. So you can make sure if this exists. Since I have already done, it's going to confirm and say this already exists. But then once you once you register this device, for example, I'm going to call demo device for this purposes. I'm going to check, and in this case you can register a specific machine name, specific location of your sensor. I'm going to create, for example, which will register this specific name into the Azure IoT Suite remote monitoring solution for this particular instance, and I can see there is a device key assigned for this device. So I'm going to go copy this device key. This is what authenticates your specific device with Azure IoT Suite. So I'm going to go back into my Arduino programming code here. This is the code base that is going to go into your Arduino device. Here I have a module to register this particular device name here, and then you can also see I have a specific device key coded into this device. When I have this device, I would go and upload this sketch, which basically completes deploying the code to my Arduino device. Once this is done, let's go look back how it's going to look like on the Azure IoT Suite. Since I have already registered this device, I'm going to go and look into my device management. As you can see, we have extended this solution to include our specific scenario. So I'm going to choose my particular location, Silicon Valley, And this device is assigned to I can deploy this any particular room to get the ambient temperature and then room utilization aspect of a specific location. I'm going to deploy this to my innovation alley, and then I'm going to choose my specific device. So what this does is this is going to bring a specific telemetry of that devices. For now, I'm going to choose a different one that is bringing the data for this demo. So as you can see, as I choose the specific device, in the portal, I'm able to get the live data from the temperature sensor as well as humidity sensor. Now this is an example out of the box. You can customize this telemetry history, this particular dashboard with your own set of telemetry information. Now further, like I described, on this device I can apply, I'm going to go and locate my particular device in the list here. So here is my particular device. I can go and add a rule and I can apply commands for this particular device. So this is how simple it is to register a device with your Azure IoT suite and continue with your IoT project. So the strategy for applying your Azure IoT suite is you start building your POC with Azure IoT suite. You want to use out-of-the-box Azure IoT suite services. You want to build your POC. You want to add more devices once you are able to succeed with the first device. The next phase in that, being able to deploy to production, is we have open sourced the remote monitoring and predictive maintenance solutions code base in the GitHub. You can download those solutions and then customize your solutions, like we showed some of the drop downs we added there for room association. You can deploy to Azure Web Apps or any other flavors that you have. For this one, it's the Azure Web Apps is used. You can integrate and extend these solutions based on your specific needs. Furthermore, you can, for being able to deploy these services which are customer facing, you can deploy to Azure Web Apps, utilize Azure mobile apps, notification services, logic apps, etc., and then excel your Azure IoT solutions rapidly. This completes the second in series. My name is Rajesh Agadi. Thank you for watching MTC Studio.